So, Ellen Dick. Set the building. So the last work was done 2 years ago.
Probably,
Ellen Dick.
yeah. Yep. All right, Teo is here for which one? 99. No. Right. So let's get started. It is 9:32 a.m. and we are going to convene the January 16th, 2024 RPRC meeting. And the first item of business is to approve the January 5th minutes. And I'll make a motion to approve
I'll
that.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All. Aye. All right, first up is 10 Hillendale. Let's pull that up. Give me a second, please. So as Sue just mentioned, this is legalization of some work, mostly interior to the house. That was done apparently in the 70s. And what's new, or what we need to deal with, are the exterior changes. And apparently at one point, a breezeway was constructed to join the garage with the main house. And there's no proposed changes. It exists and looks appropriate, in my opinion. I don't think there are any issues. And it certainly hasn't changed since the 70s, so there isn't really much for us to do, right? So here's the breezeway that was built. Is everyone okay with this?
Yep.
I think so. I'll make a motion to send to building for permit. And
I'll second.
Sue's going to second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So tough one. So that is done. Next is 1523 Old Orchard for the addition. We have the applicant here. Matthew, you with us? Oh, you have to join, he's got to join audio in a minute. I'll pull up his application. While he's getting his audio sorted out, I'll take you through what's being proposed. An existing ranch / raised ranch on Old Orchard. What they want to do is at the rear of the house, put an
Not
addition.
Paso.
Join the meeting.
How are you? Matt, you with us?
I'm with you. Sorry, guys. Slow to get in.
Yep, okay. I was just going over with the board what you're proposing to do. So it's the master suite addition at the rear of the house. So it's going to come out of the back.
Correct.
No basement addition. So it will be on, you can see the addition here. Coming out
Does
the
the
back.
wetlands buffer come right up to the
Yes,
house?
the buffer goes through. But remember, what we're talking about is not a foundation.
Right,
It's
just
just
piers.
like deck piers, you know, holding up the addition, you can see here. So the disturbance is extremely limited. It's already their rear yard. You know, my recommendation, and Craig, you can speak up to this, would be to process this as an administrative wetlands permit, you know, there's very little impact here.
I have one question.
Yeah.
In the notes that a wetland mitigation plan is required,
Yes,
would that have to come before the con board?
it does not.
No,
No, but we can discuss that if you think that's necessary. The way the administrative permit, if we determine that's the way to go, that mitigation plan would be reviewed by the town engineer and just
Okay.
approved.
that's fine.
Okay. Sue, any issues on the architecture or how they're designing this?
No,
No? What? Yeah.
it's strange looking from the side. And I'm just wondering,
Uh-huh.
can we do some plantings?
You could, it's, you know, there is a neighbor that's closest to the side, but they're not that close. You can see from the,
Well, Yeah,
yeah. You know,
and I don't know who's on that side.
nothing's on the other side. Yeah, that's a park.
I just would not like to see that becoming a depository for all gardening equipment and stuff. You know,
Well,
as
I
could
expect they're
happen.
gonna use it under the.
I
you know,
would
but-
imagine,
Yeah,
so if I was the neighbor, I would want to look at that.
so what are you saying? You
I
want
would-
lattice under there or something?
No, I would say if they could do some planting,
Where? At the property line or right by that?
either or.
Matthew, any
And-
thoughts to that?
Not sure I'm following. So planting underneath the added space, is that what we're
Oh,
suggesting?
not underneath.
As a screen.
Yeah, as a screen. What Sue is talking about is she said, you know, potentially you're going to store some material under there, and which, you know, would probably be the case, right? It's all this space you have under there. She's saying it might be unsightly to look at from your neighbor's perspective, and whether or not you could plant some screening either at the property line or somewhere to kind of screen that under portion from your neighbor.
Now, some people use lattice.
Lattice.
Yeah, that's what I was
You
getting at.
just, you know, you wrap it in lattice and you
Yeah,
put
I
it
think that might
place
be
to
the
open
easiest.
and get in and get
Yeah,
out. and that-
maybe you put lattice under there with a door,
Well,
you know?
that's after a few years.
Yeah. But it depends on what lattice you put in.
Right.
No, seriously, it does.
No, I know.
That's stuff that's good.
Thoughts on that, Matthew?
Stuff that's been there.
I mean, they now
25
have
Absolutely.
lattice with fake ivy all over it and
Yeah.
bamboo
I don't know
things.
if you need to do
No,
it, but
I mean,
whatever.
seriously.
Would that be
Okay.
reasonable? Is that-
I got it. So, look, as a subsequent phase to this project, the plan is to extend our patio and make it an actual living space, you know, an entertainment space. I don't know what the right term is for it.
Yeah.
Underneath that, underneath the added space. So it'll be patio. It'll be patio furniture. It will not be storage. I'm not storing whatever. I thought I heard someone say garden equipment or other things. It is not going to be a storage space. There's, as you can see in the plans, there's going to be recessed lighting underneath and fans, and the intent is to make that a functional sort of covered space under there. I don't know that we'll be able to do that here. It's not being done as part of the design, as part of this phase one. Phase two, whenever that would be, I hope that's, you know, within a year of completing this. You know, we do all those things, and you know, it's not going to be by any means, you know, an eyesore for the neighbors.
Well, so Matthew, you know, he's prepping this to be used. It won't be a
As
storage
an
space. He's
outdoor
putting the,
space.
yeah, he's putting the lighting in. You can see
Mhm.
on the plan here.
Right now, what kind of services?
Right, and what I could say is in the interim, you know, until we're
But
able
are
to
you
do
putting
that
it down-
subsequent phase that I just
Are you putting the patio down now or not?
it depends on our budget. So there may be budget constraints for this plan, for this phase one that we've agreed to and that we're comfortable with. It's not included.
Okay.
But you know, that doesn't mean as the project progresses that you know we don't consider it, depending on where we are budget wise. But not in the plan right now.
But if they ultimately put a slab down, does that change the wetland?
Well, yes,
Impervious
yes.
surface.
That's right. It does.
That's,
Gonna cover it
Yeah,
anyway.
whether there's a roof above it, right?
Yeah,
So there's a
regardless
whole
of
story.
impervious.
Yeah, I mean the columns will be nicely wrapped. They're going to look very nice in the way the columns are wrapped, sort of stone around the base. And I forget the name of the material that the architect and contractor described to me, but it's going to look nice. And in the interim, whatever dirt is under there, if we're not able to extend the patio, my intent was to sort of flatten it out nice, and to the best of our ability, because it will be covered, but to the best of our ability, grow grass under there to sort of fill in the space in the interim. So, I mean, Adam, did you come by last week? Maybe I'm sorry I missed you, but you could see what was there now. It will look better when completed than what it does now. So if I'm the neighbor, I maybe I'm biased. It's my property, right? But I don't have any concern over the view from the neighbors with respect to how it might look. It's going to look nice.
Right.
It's some kind of.
Patio.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
You're okay?
I'm satisfied.
All right, so then I'll make a motion, to process this as an administrative wetlands permit. And to send to building.
And what's the type of permit, Adam? Just so I'm with you, and if you don't mind educating me a bit on what that means.
I'll say.
All in favor?
Aye.
What is it? So you're gonna go to the building department to file for the addition. And since a portion of the addition is in a wetland buffer, you're going to need an administrative wetland permit that will be issued by the town engineer. Essentially, what we determined that this is minor in nature and you don't need to go to the conservation board.
Okay. And what drives the need for this administrative wetlands permit? Not
The construction
clear on that.
Yeah, the construction that's in the wetland buffer. So if you go to your site plan, you could see your engineer,
Yeah.
provided where the wetland buffer is, so you can see a corner of this is in the wetland buffer.
I understand. Okay.
100 feet of the stream that's in the backyard there.
Right.
But it's
I'm just
essentially
taking
what
the
we
note
deem.
here.
What's that?
I was just taking a note on what that
Oh.
means. So, okay. I'm with you.
Yeah, so that's it. You're off to your next phase. You're done with us
Okay.
here.
So now I'm going to submitting all the building permit applications, and they'll take me through what I need to do to get this administrative wetlands permit, or is that
Yes.
completely independent?
It's a similar, it's all happening at the same time. And we're
Okay.
going to put together a determination letter after this meeting, and I'll post it by this afternoon. And you can go to the RPRC website on the town's website, and you can find that
Okay.
determination, which will give you the next steps in writing.
All right. So that'll be sort of the approval to move forward. I'll find that online and what to do next.
Exactly.
Okay. And how quickly till that gets posted, Adam? So I know when to look out for it.
This afternoon. So look around noontime.
Okay. All right. That's great. And I won't receive any emails or any confirmation in response to this meeting. I'll just have to find it online.
Yeah, exactly. Just download it. Yep.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
Excellent.
Okay.
Piece.
Take care, Matthew.
Thanks very much.
All right, got a sheet with everyone's emails. I think this is John Scarlato. Let me tell him. It's good.
John is on the first project.
I know, gotta tell him he's missed it. John,
Yeah,
you're too late. We already did Hillendale.
I'm sorry, the link didn't work. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
don't play. Yeah, everything was fine. We sent it to building.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care. All right. Hi, guys.
Good morning. Let me put my video on.
Okay.
There it is.
Good morning.
Morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Happy New
All
Year
right,
to all of
so-
you.
What was that, Teo?
Happy New Year to all of you.
Oh, yeah, same to you. All right, let's get everyone up to speed. So you were at our last or the second to last RPRC meeting. We discussed a couple of things, in particular, moving the house a little bit further north, right? I think. And you've done that. In addition, that this was a site plan that was previously approved by the planning board that expired. So with that set up, I think you guys did a pretty good job. And 8.5 feet further to the north, 52 feet from the front property line. The front setback's 50, so they got it up like we asked. Another issue last time where some of the walls were over 6 feet, necessitating planning board approval. They brought those down to 6 feet. We have a landscape plan and we have the materials added to the architecturals. I asked that in the submitted site plan that a bit more screening occur, in particular to the north. We've got a tall elevation there and that next door house is located right there. So maybe you could do that, Teo or Alan. Also maybe some more supplemental screening on the southern property line. It seemed like there are some opportunities to do that. I know there are some engineering comments, and I think the most critical issue was I spoke to John Kellard, and Tony can talk about this some more, but of real concern is stormwater. We have a neighbor at the rear who's extremely concerned about how stormwater is handled. At least John Kellard's thought was that he be given an opportunity to appear in front of the planning board to discuss the stormwater plan and potentially his concerns. So John and Tony's office are recommending that this go to the planning board to give that neighbor that opportunity to comment on the stormwater plan. I think Tony maybe pick up on that and we can discuss as a committee what we want to do. And if there are any specific concerns on the plan that Alan and Teo prepared.
And that's correct, as you stated it.
Okay.
That's kind of how I was filling on the whole thing. The other issues are there's minor stormwater tweaks that need to be done. The other concern is the driveway.
Oh, yes, that John did mention that, and let's talk about.
Yeah,
Talk
so
about that.
yeah,
Can you pull up that plan, Alan?
Adam,
Yeah,
and we are getting a lot of feedback. I don't know if Teo, you're getting the same too. But there's like another conversation going on while all this is
maybe
happening.
you have the YouTube open still. So close that.
That is the case.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, that could be.
On a delay.
That'll do it. Sorry.
Yeah.
calling
Yeah.
radio station. I think they're always.
Right, that's exactly right. So Alan, I asked, can you bring up the site links? We want to talk about that driveway.
Sure.
Alan, you want to bring the plan?
I can, if I can share.
Yeah.
Please.
Do you want to see it in plan view or are you looking for it in the profile?
Let's look at the plan view first.
Yeah, I think
Sure.
the
Okay, let me share screen.
is the issue.
Okay.
Is that visible?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, Tony, why don't you go over your concerns? What's
So the concern is you have an inside, that big bend when you
That
start coming,
radius?
yeah, to the north, that you got a 12-foot inside radius. Now that's a standard car that's making that turn right now. You know, the concern is UPS driver, delivery, anything like that. And then you look at the final bend trying to get into that garage.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah,
And that car's not even, you know, yeah, you could back up and then slip into there, but you know, it just seems a bit tight.
okay.
Well, I was showing how, using how a passenger car can get through there very easily.
Concern is the, you know, FedEx guy. How's he navigating all
Oil
that?
delivery.
Oil delivery,
Well, they'll have to do it from the street.
moving trucks,
Snow plows.
snow plows. Yeah. It just seems really tight.
Can you describe that a little bit, Alan, about your the vehicles that you're showing there and the radiuses?
Well, the center line radius is something else. It's probably about a 20-foot radius through here. And here, and that's the passenger, I'm showing how a passenger car can get through here. And actually what I had done is widen the driveway here as well. I know it's 12 feet here, but it's like 14.25 feet here, and it's wider here as well. And the purpose of widening it is just to make sure there was extra room to get a vehicle through. So I think looking at the radius isn't necessarily, reflective of it, because that was the whole point of widening it in these locations, just to make sure that here and there,
All right,
that you
well,
could get
Tony,
a
what do you wanna
vehicle
see?
through there. That was kind of like the purpose of it.
I'd like to see,
Yeah.
you know, something like FedEx, a box, FedEx truck navigating.
Okay.
Yeah, because if he gets down to the bottom of the garage area, I don't know what he's gonna do. He's gonna try to back that all. You know, there's certain concerns with that. If he-
I mean,
Well,
you
isn't
you have
there
a fundamental
That's a
problem
in
with
the
that,
front?
Alan?
That's a
I'm sorry,
car
what was that?
Basically, we want to see if you could get a small, like a parcel truck in and out. Can you design it to that? Is that fine?
I guess I'll show it how it could be done. I mean, that's
Yeah.
fine.
But the size of the vehicle shown, Alan, as we have discussed, would be an Amazon truck that could get in there and turn
No,
around.
that's what we're
a
saying.
passenger car.
No, that's
That-
exactly
I
what
know
we're
it says
saying.
passenger car. That thing's about 20 feet by about 7 feet. It's a big vehicle. And it's got a big radius. They're very conservative on it.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, I think that can be addressed. So what do we want to do with this, in terms of next steps?
Well, I think if engineering
Yeah,
wants to go
I'd
back
be
to planning, it should come back. to
I
planning.
agree with that. I know that's a blow for you guys, but
I mean, we're familiar with the project.
we can do it fast.
We can, if everything gets submitted and,
Yeah.
they're ready to discuss it, we can give them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you saying the next step is here?
Saying that based upon I don't know if you heard that, Alan, with the feedback before, but what the town engineer is recommending is that given the concerns of the neighbor and the neighborhood and what we've seen out there in terms of stormwater and flooding, that the neighbors be given the opportunity to comment on the stormwater plan, which means it has to go to the planning board. That's what the town engineer is recommending. And the feedback we have here is that at least it seems like the committee's not ready to go against that recommendation from the town engineer.
Yeah, and that would be fine, but can we get some feedback on what Alan has shown to you today?
Yeah.
Because there's a drainage plan, there is all that
Yeah, no,
information
I
has
don't
been
think-
submitted.
Oh, yes, fair enough. And I don't think, and Tony, you can elaborate, there isn't a fundamental problem with what you're proposing. It's more that since this is such a concern in the neighborhood, we want to give the neighbors the opportunity to ask questions about the plan. Is that fair to say, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, there's some water quality treatment issues on the driveway. It doesn't seem like there's water quality treatment for that. But, these are things that could be addressed.
Right.
So.
No,
Hearing?
Yeah.
I will request that we get that feedback now, so that if we have to go back into the planning board and
Yeah.
go through
Yeah,
here's
yeah,
our hearings,
Well,
we get all the feedback now.
Yes, Teo, we're gonna prepare a determination letter that's going to say you have to go to the planning board, but it's going to have all of Tony's comments and my comments. So we talked about the landscaping plan. We'll have
Right.
specific comments on the turning radius of the driveway and whatever details for the stormwater. It will all be there, so you'll know exactly what we're looking for.
Very good. What about on the architectural end? Is there any additional feedback on what we have submitted?
Pull it up and we can have Sue and all of us will take a look. But I generally I would say no, but pull up your plans there.
Okay, Alan, can you surrender to your screen, please?
We didn't raise that last time, so I think you're good, Teo, but let's pull it up and discuss it
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah, well, you know, the comment that we had was to show materials
yeah.
which we found here.
Materials, yes. Why don't we go over that with Sue? Right, thank you for bringing that up.
As you can see here, we have a Connecticut field stone in part of the facade. We have
Now,
a
can you zoom
stucco.
in a little?
Okay, you want me to zoom in farther? Okay, I will.
See it.
Okay, here, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so there will be a Connecticut field stone. We have stucco on the balance of the building, and we have an architectural grade fiberglass roof system. We
Okay,
have a
Can you scroll down materials?
yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Sue, any thoughts?
Roof looks good, but that vertical siding.
Mhm.
What's the vertical siding? What's the color?
No, that's the roof over the porch.
You know, that's
right?
a roof. That's a metal roof.
Roof over the porch.
Aluminum
Yeah,
or metal? of some
metal,
sort?
metal roof, yeah.
And the light, or is he showing stone?
That's the stone, not the light, right, Teo?
Yes, that is a Connecticut field stone.
Okay, good.
And the stucco.
Mm-hmm. What color is the stucco?
The stucco is this off-white that you have down here.
It says off-white,
Off-white.
warm gray. Because that color doesn't go with the stone in that picture.
Did you hear that?
No,
Oh.
it's almost has to be you don't have the stone delivered to the site yet, do you?
Not yet, not yet. But we will, and we would love to have your feedback once we have those materials in place, and we'll do a mock-up for you to see it if you would like to do that.
Because until you have the actual stone, you can't
Could
pick
be-
the actual color.
Could be gray, could be tan.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, the stone's gonna be all different colors. Okay,
All right, so.
you're on track.
Yeah, no, it looks good. So I will make a motion to send this to the planning board.
I'll second.
Sue, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we'll put together all of our comments, so you're prepared for that planning board meeting. I'll talk to the chairman about getting that scheduled for a hearing, that first meeting. See, you know, how he feels about that, to move you along.
Gotta do the note.
Yeah, I'll do the notice, yeah. Okay, guys?
All right.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Have a
Appreciate
good
it.
day.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
And now,
Do you think the stone is that?
No, they just
No.
have to create more water quality. They're capturing the detention of the driveway, but they're not dealing with water quality. It's just a matter of a design or adding more stormwater almost. So I think they can get it all rectified. But, you know,
Because of the neighbor.
Yeah, people don't
Yeah.
understand it.
Reasonable request.
Yeah.
I think so. I think so.
All right, but let me make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Anyone want to second? Greg, all in favor?
Aye.